Profanity Nation.
Yeah, it's the new era of man for some old school fans with a new school brand. We got money on the mic with the plan in hand. And Stat Pat to his left, they go hand in hand. And to the right, we got Simpster, he putting it down. It's the Profanity Nation, we running the town. Yeah,
It's the Profanity Nation.
Hey, welcome to the Profanity Nation podcast. Welcome to the show where we are the voice of the professional fan. As you can see, I'm joined here by my guy, Money Mike, and let's bring him in right away. Let's bring in Stat Pat. Stat is with us on remote location. Stat, how you feeling, sir? Let's go straight to you first. How you feeling?
I feel good, man. I feel like I'm on assignment or something.
Yeah,
I mean, dog, I ain't seen you in studio, man, for about 3 weeks.
It's about 3 weeks.
Yeah, I don't think you got that much vacation time, dog.
No, man, I'm using up all my PTO. That's for damn sure.
That's why you showed up today.
Yeah, I was gonna say you call you know what I mean? We got the inside report or something.
Exactly. As always, joined here by my buddy Money Mike. Let's get to it. Money Mike, how you feeling today?
Man, I'm good, man. Like it's been a crazy week all the way around. All these rumors flying. We don't know what's true. I don't know what I want to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know.
Now it's just
I'm all confused. Like Sharif O'Neal, nobody's impressed. It's a lot right now. It's a lot. There's a lot going on.
All right, so
not too much of college football and that too.
There's a lot happening right now in Southern California sports. Period. Dodgers are just playing outstanding. So let's just go there. Dodgers are kicking butt. I was at a game last Friday against the Cubs. They played well. Took the game. We're down in the ninth. Came back, took the win. Dodger Stadium has made some crazy improvements. This is the second time I went there this year, and I had a blast. We sat in the outfield pavilion in what they call the home run seats. Right there on the fence.
Oh, that's the fun side.
Yeah. So it was a good time. Definitely recommend it. Get out to Dodger Stadium. They're playing.
Man, they're about to have the All-Star. I was looking at the All-Star. Actually, I don't even really want to go to the All-Star game.
No, just the home run.
But I looked at the home run. They want $350 a seat.
Well, you're probably going to catch at least one ball though. That's
man,
for sure.
But they $350 though.
Yeah, it's
like,
a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
That's I need to figure out. Listen, I just need my kids to, get in some program or something, and so that way they could say, "Hey, kids, you guys want to be out there in the outfield to catch the ball?" Yeah, then I'd be a chaperone for them.
That's all we need, exactly. So live vicariously through our kids.
Man, right.
Use it. Get busy. Well, what community program is going to get you on the field at Dodgers?
I need to figure that out, man.
He's always thinking about how to work these special events.
Special events. Absolutely. Yeah,
that is awesome. Have some kind of angle.
Man, exactly. Listen, there is always one.
Exactly.
There's always one.
So you're right. The All-Star game's coming. Dodgers are playing well. We're, I guess, I don't know, about the halfway through the season or so. So that's right where All-Star game comes in. And like you said, the All-Star game, nobody really cares. But the home run derby should be fun. And it's a Dodger Stadium, which it hasn't been in, I don't know, what is it, Pat, like 40 years or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's been a long time, so that'll be fun. But let's get to it. Of course, we all know we're a Lakers-centric show here, so let's just get to it. Let's just talk Lakers. So everybody, of course, has been talking Kyrie to the Lakers, and it's just a matter of time. We don't know that that's fact until it happens, but that's the word on the street. Kyrie to the Lakers, just a matter of time. LeBron, of course, Summer League is going on. LeBron was spotted at Summer League, and, so was Russell Westbrook. And apparently they didn't sit next to each other or say too much. Stat, let's start with you. That made a headline. Are we reading a little too much into it or what?
I think so, man, because it's like everything is being scrutinized, right? So it was that happened. I think that 2 days ago, I think that happened. Yeah. And then I think also either 2 or 3 days ago, supposedly, I think there was Jerry West and Ballmer or somebody, I think was sitting right courtside. It was a person over, it was in between that was one person, and then Kyrie was on the other side. And they were like, oh my God, he's so close to, then what can they be saying about them? Well, anytime they see Pelinka with Sean May, it's oh my God, what they could be talking about the trade right now. And it's everything is being scrutinized.
Woj is right in the mix. Woj is right there. because it was Pelinka, Sean May, and the guy from Toronto. Inside, I can't.
Masai was
yeah, and then Woj is right there, just kind of sitting around, like laughing, joking, like, dog, Woj, you ear hustling.
He ear hustling, dude. He ear hustling. That's why they ain't telling him shit. That's why they're not saying anything. I mean, come on, man. And that's the funny thing about it, because Woj wants to be the first one to break it, and then you got Shams. Then you got Chris Haynes from Yahoo Sports. Like, everyone is trying to, be the one to break the story. And it looks like there's all these different factions. Either it's coming from the Kyrie perspective. I think he has a guy. I think his guy is literally Chris Haynes. I think then you have the Lakers. I think they have their dude. It might be Shams, because Woj doesn't have an inside track with the Lakers organization. So now every time you hear either there's traction or there's things being discussed, we don't know what's happening, because we don't know how this thing being negotiated in the media. And these guys are the instruments, and with these guys, the teams and the person or the guy, Kyrie, are basically speaking through these guys. So there's a lot of misdirection right now going on. We don't know what's the truth.
Misdirection, posturing. Anytime you hear something like, well, the Lakers are getting ready to trade and they have a package for Buddy Hield already in the works, that is posturing to try to let the Nets know that they're not as desperate as they actually are to make a deal, when we know that they are desperate to make a deal.
Right.
But it's fun to watch.
And I don't know if you guys heard, because Kyrie was over there at the Sparks game, and a fan yelled out, "Hey, Kyrie, you coming?" And Kyrie said, "Yeah, it's gonna happen in a few days."
Yeah, like, real soon.
Right. Like, all right, man. Like, what are you doing? Like, you have no control over this, or do you? Or does he have control?
Well, you don't even know he said it. Anyone's on the internet that don't mean it true.
Yeah.
You want it.
But see, you know what though? Look, for real, we need to figure out what LeBron thinks. Because whatever LeBron think is, that's what really is gonna happen. So we need to, forget all the GMs, forget all the other players. Ask LeBron what's gonna happen, and then that's what's gonna happen.
That's what's gonna happen. Step Pat, you, of course, you had frequented quite a few South Bay games this last year, and one of the players that you specifically spoke about that was a highlight, I believe his name was Mac McClung. He is no longer a Laker. The Golden State Warriors have snatched him up. Did the Lakers miss on that one? Did they mess up, or is just, no room on this team for them, but somehow the Warriors found a spot?
Well, okay, so we got a couple of two-way players that we already signed already. So we didn't even sign McClung to that two-way contract. So we passed him over for one of the two-way deals. And we also have that open roster spot just in case if we do say trade Kyrie for Kyrie, we'll be sending out more salary
back more than we're probably,
and we need that extra salary. Extra roster spot to fill with that. Make that trade even work out without us cutting someone. So he was a casualty. Unfortunately, I liked his game. I think he plays with heart. I just saw him do some kind of he had a highlight right now in the summer league today. He's a gamer. I like that. However, I don't want to miss the forest for the trees, because I like what we have in Austin Reeves. I think Austin Reeves is a better player than McClung, even though McClung has talent. But if I saw Austin Reeves doing the same thing, I'm glad I got Austin Reeves over McClung. So, you know what I'm saying? We are really good at picking diamonds out of the rough. And I think we have one with Reeves. Yes, McClung is going there, but I think we can find another McClung. We can find somebody like that if we, just like we do. Just take a look at our draft. You see what we did on our draft. That's how we do.
All right. So, serious question: are the Warriors just looking to see what the G League, the Lakers G League,
exactly? Do they just go right from the South Bay Lakers?
You know what I mean? They're not even looking at the Santa Clara team. They go directly to the South Bay Lakers, see what they do, and they just pick it from them. Because they got GP, came off the South Bay Lakers.
Is Kyrie a Laker? Chris Woodmansey wants to know. Not yet, but it would appear that it's getting closer there, Chris. You know that you're on top of it, that's for sure.
Hey, but Chris, let me ask you though, man. There's a rumor and we know there are rumors, Lakers prefer KD over Kyrie. What are the odds on that?
What are your thoughts on that one there, Chris? If you could in the comments, let us know. Would you prefer KD over Kyrie? And would you trade more assets for a KD on a 4-year contract versus Kyrie on a 1-year? That's always up for debate because, do contracts really matter with KD? I don't know that they do. Okay, so that's okay. We lost one of our players, Mac McClung, one of our young, to the Warriors, but the Warriors passed up on, like you were just talking about, one of our former favorites. They passed up on Gary Payton Jr.
They couldn't afford that.
Gary Payton Jr. signed with Portland.
Yeah,
he's gone. He finally got paid. That guy's story. That's it. If you want to see a story of hard work, perseverance, and just not giving up, go ahead and take a look at Gary Payton's career. You're talking undrafted, I believe, G League, team. He was G League, no team.
No. He played for the D League. I mean, he was. I remember when he went for 50 against the LA Defenders. So that's how long he was in the D League.
Chris wants a Kyrie and LeBron reunion again instead of KD. I agree because that would go quicker too, and they don't have to fight.
Yeah,
because they'll it should be like riding a bike. Pat, that's a great question actually. If this Kyrie deal goes through and it's a Kyrie LeBron team up at this point, do you think that'll click quick? Do you think that's just let's just get right back into it like we were, or is that going to be take a little time and because they've grown and matured since then? What do you think?
No, I think it'll work perfectly, and the reason why I'm saying that is because Kyrie struggled in being the face of a franchise. He ain't got to worry about that anymore. He comes in, he's going to go ahead and do what he has to do. In terms of fit, it's a perfect fit. We've seen it already work before, and they never had a big man like AD. So the working the pick and roll and the way they're going to be able to work it, what can you do? Are you going to be able to, to hedge on that pick and roll? Are you going to be able to sag because we got Kyrie has that mid-range game. You know what I'm saying? Or if you double, you try to trap it, he's going to dribble out of that, and then he's going to find people in the corner, or he's going to go for the lob. It's going to be a lot of things that he can do. Now, of course, defensively is where we have to hold. We have to basically hang our hat on. But in late game situations, situational basketball, I think we're going to be a lot better going forward if we did make that trade versus, we play good defense and let's hope we can luck into a win at the end,
Money, I've got a question for you because you've actually specifically pointed, let's see, I heard from Scoop B that KD and Kyrie owe it to the fans, probably run it back for one more year. Yeah, well, the Nets, they're under contract, so that's really more up to the Nets than KD and Kyrie, but we'll see what happens there, Chris. I was saying,
you asking me about KD coming to the Lakers?
No, forgot it. Move on.
All right.
Okay. Hey, that's how it happens. You stop.
hey, that's why we're live. No
that's why we're live there. Okay. So the Lakers here, you have, you're talking about bringing Kyrie over. That's right. Okay. So now we're talking. Okay, good. Yes. Okay. So you have actually brought up in the past that you wish we didn't trade all those assets for AD because you knew AD was going to come anyways. Well, Kyrie has made it known he wants to be a Laker in the next season. If it's not this season, he wants to be next season. Why haven't you brought up the fact that you don't want us to trade assets for him when he has essentially publicly said he wants to be a Laker and will be next season one way or the other?
Well, let me just say foundationally, I feel the same way. The difference is we don't have the assets that we had that we traded away for AD. Like we literally only had really THT and Austin Reeves, where we had Lonzo, we had Ingram, we had, I think, better assets that we gave away for AD that we would be giving away right now for Kyrie. And so you might as well at this point, especially too, the dynamic is also different for the Celtics. The Celtics are coming back. And so we can't wait now.
So you actually feel pressure because of how well the Celtics performed this last.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Right, because it's a different dynamic. And our THT was not Ingram, was not Lonzo, right? Like, THT is a good piece, but he wasn't. I think, Lonzo and Ingram is a better piece.
Let's go ahead. Okay. Chris says here, since tomorrow is 7/11, July 11th, KD and Kyrie's numbers, I'm feeling something will be announced tomorrow. That's what I'm feeling. Okay, Chris, I'd like you to do me a favor. If you've never heard of this, go ahead and research gematria. 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 Go ahead and take a look at that. You might like that. That's the study of numbers in sports. You may have stumbled onto something there, and you may find something that you're looking for, again, under gematria. Okay, so have some fun with that rabbit hole there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're okay with trading the assets now because you don't see the assets as valuable. Are you feeling that, number one, this trade is specifically to work around a healthy and vibrant LeBron versus an aging, older LeBron? So do you feel the pressure to get that done sooner?
No, not necessarily, but I think that we can still be competitive if we have LeBron and Kyrie and AD go down. What do you think, Pat?
Yeah, I believe that. If the thing is, Kyrie is going to be, like I said, once again, late games. Remember, we were talking about, okay, some of us were not really confident in LeBron James in late game situations. Then that right there should alleviate the pressure off of Mike. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got to worry about now LeBron shooting stuff, to step back three, winding the ball, because we know we're going to get something quality, okay, because he got the ball in Kyrie's hands. So we have that. That's cool. Going back to the assets, though, I don't think we should be giving up much. Like, I think we should give up the assets of what we do, but we are in control of this thing. The fact that Kyrie has told everyone that he only wants us, it gave us a lot of pull in negotiations. And if we're only bidding against ourselves, it makes no difference. It makes no sense to give them assets if we're bidding against ourselves. So I'm saying, look, right now, I think we're posturing. But at the end of the day, you give up what you can, but you should not give up any first rounders that is not lottery protected. That's where we messed up the first time. We need to go ahead and get these basically these assets that are lottery protected. He typed in Jumanji. That's pretty funny.
Jumanji.
Yeah. So I just think that I really believe get it over the line. And at the same time, look, and we talk about drama. We assume that if we did get KD, what kind of drama is it going to be? Whose legacy are we boasting? Who legacy is it? We got legacy talk. Now we got these championships and winning, but just like in Golden State, everyone's now hitting up KD saying, look at that. We didn't need you anymore. See, we won these championships without you. You were along for the ride, even though he was the leading scorer, even though he was two-time finals MVP, even though he did that, you still have Warriors fans right now after they win a championship trying to talk salty to him because now we're going to tarnish his legacy. Well, what happens when he come play with LeBron James? Who's champions? Well, we don't go ahead and get LeBron to 6 championships and KD get 4. We're going to your 4 doesn't match his 6. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, at least we know that Pau Gasol, Kyrie is Pau Gasol to LeBron's Kobe. We do know that. Like, there's no pecking order. We know how that's going to work out. So, I don't know. I like the fit. I think it's seamless. And we ain't got to give up much, man. 1 first rounder and it's lottery protected. You
know what's funny about that, though? Like,
I think lottery protected for sure.
Yeah, but you know what's funny about that for me, though? Like, look, all for the last month and a half, if you just scroll Facebook, and maybe because Facebook knows how I feel about LeBron, they have all these LeBron, I love LeBron pages, right? And they keep all coming. LeBron's the only player in NBA history to get MVP on 3 separate teams when they win a championship and things like that. And, it's just all this LeBron love to put LeBron ahead of everything. And I think actually it's kind of funny if KD would come, right? And if KD came and say KD got the MVP and we went and the Lakers win a championship, then that narrative is going to be really, really different because number one, if LeBron wouldn't have gotten the MVP in the finals, so then he would have took that away from him, and KD's record in the final would be way better than LeBron. So I wonder if I mean, I'm just because this is what people are going on Facebook. They're always trying to they ignore the sits that he lost. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder like if KD kind of getting that realm, is he gonna get credit for it? But on the flip side of that, what's really interesting about KD has proven that he needs to have a bona fide superstar where people could put their attention on that other superstar so KD can do what he do. Because when KD is by himself, he and all the attention's on him, he no longer is the man.
Yeah, I see that. And when it comes to him taking over, now, of course, people are going to go back and look at like last year when he took basically the Bucks to 7. He was his toe was on the line, and if his toe wasn't on the line, they'll win that series. And so they're going to see that. And yeah, of course, we're in a results business, right? It's not about what could have happened. It's like what did happen. And we talk about leaders, and we're talking about these guys that take their people to the finals, and we are like, we don't talk about people like Jimmy Butler. Like, Jimmy Butler is that guy that people don't really talk about because the game is not really as refined as those, it's not as pretty as those, but he has leadership skills and he has the will to get his teammates to where they need to be. I don't know if KD is that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about that. But we'll have to see. I mean, at the same time, we just got to see if that's going to happen. A lot of things are moving around. DeAndre Ayton is still available because he wants to maybe sign a deal. So he's a chess piece that might be moved and a sign and trade to the Nets in a KD deal. And that would be kind of like the first domino that happens if they if they are slow to it. Then Ayton might go to the Indiana Pacers, for Miles Turner. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is all going to work out. But when we're talking about legacies, man, it's a dirty game, man. Everything is crazy right now when it comes to legacies.
Everything is now there's a few things that are for sure, and that's 250, 260, and $270 million, and that goes to Booker, Beal, and Jokic with Supermax deals, 250, 260, and 270 respectively.
You didn't
excuse me, Dame.
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you. I think I'm not really tripping about that. You know what I'm surprised about? I'm surprised about what Zion got. Mm-hmm. I think Zion got like 219, and
he hasn't even performed.
And he hasn't performed. And that dude has proven that he liked to eat during the summer. He had to work himself back in shape. So out of the three that got those deals, I can see that because I've seen their performance. I don't think. Sorry to cut you off, but
you're good.
I don't think Zion is worth that 219 that they gave him.
So what do you guys think about this then? So I hear all those big numbers, and so because we get, it's like we hearing 250, we're hearing Jokic's got 290, right? 290, yeah. Like I think it was something like 290 or something like that, or was it? Yeah. It was something crazy like that.
Or something. I'll tell you right now.
To me, it pales in comparison to what Dame Lillard got. The Dame Lillard got 2 years, $122 million. Now, I'm not really good at math, but I can tell you that's around $60 million a year. And I don't know who and how and why he is worth that when I don't think he's gotten his team out of the second round. I think he only made it to the second round of the playoffs. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he made it to the conference championship once.
Is that paying loyalty? Is that paying loyalty for him never asking for a trade, demanding a trade, or bad-mouthing the organization?
Do you think if that's valuable for you, you need something to sell at Portland? You need something. You don't have anything. And if he's loyal to the soil, then, then that's cool for him. And I'm glad they're happy. Hey, he respects the grind. I will respect the grind too. If you pay me $60 million, I'm not going anywhere. I love the grind. I want the grind. I'm basically doing overtime for the grind. If you paying me $60 million a year, so you know what I'm saying. You ain't got to worry about he's chasing. What is a ring, bro? What is a ring? If I'm making $60 million a year, I don't give a damn about a ring. It's a ring.
I was gonna say, does that overshadow the ring right there? But does that also make him untradeable with that contract?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
so any possibility of being traded, because now I think the salary cap is at 125 and he's half.
He's eating up all of that.
I mean, at least he said he didn't do what Harden did, right? Harden's like, I'm going to give back. Well, because Harden had a horrible year, but Harden took a deal. He could have got paid more. He took less. Stoudemire's like, I'm not Stoudemire. Stoudemire. Lillard's like, screw it. I've been here. I know he ain't going to win. I'm taking the money at this point.
I mean, look, I'm not mad at that. Like, you know,
I'm not mad at that either.
You know, because I don't think let me just say this. I don't think it's Damian Lillard's fault on why they have not made it as deep into the playoffs. I mean, that dude literally has not had enough help. And so I would blame more of that on the general manager. I definitely can respect the fact that he's not trying to hop teams and go places where, you know, put a super team together to try to go ahead and win a championship. And, you know, man, so yeah, like if you realize that you want loyalty is the king for you and you ain't going to championship, then yeah. And let me get the 60 million and you know, play as hard as I can.
Stat, how will he be remembered? He never gets his ring. He retires.
He'll be a Hall of Famer.
He'll be rich. Is he a Hall of Famer? Number one.
Yes.
Has he ever been an MVP? He's never made it deep into the finals or the playoffs. As far as I know, he's never had a scoring title. How will he be remembered? Just what pops in your head, Stat? How will Dame Lillard be remembered if he just finishes out a career here in Portland and no title?
So up until recently, Dame has been living off this shot, right? Right, that shot that he made, which is probably one of the coldest buzzer beaters in the history of the game. And when he made it and he hit it over Paul George.
Yep.
You know, and Paul George was talking like it was a lucky shot. You know, that's basically he's still living off that shot because he had this reputation of being clutch and super clutch and yeah, you know, he is clutch in a way. But just like we were kind of saying about KD, when KD is the man, even though he has lesser talent around him, we were saying earlier that he doesn't have it to take them to the next level. Then I have to look at Dame in that same frame. I cannot use the same criteria to KD because then I'll be saying that Dame is just that much of a lesser player than KD. No, he's making $60 million a year, so he needs to be held to the same standard to make their players. Because this is not a Kobe deal. This is not the 2-year $50 million that Jeannie gave to Kobe on the way out because thank you for your service. Kobe got 5 championships under his belt. He deserved that. $60 million and you just getting me second round knockouts. Well, I mean, hell, I guess it's great up there in Portland. I mean, shoot. I mean, what are we talking about here?
I mean, he hasn't had any help. I mean, I think we blame the GM on everything, on giving them that deal number one. And not giving them enough help to. Well,
it definitely doesn't help to open up the door to get help in the future. That's for sure. They can't afford it. The team is strapped with that deal. But again, I guess, like you said, you paid loyalty and you resolve yourself as a GM to this is a business and we have to turn a profit here and we need a star in order to even because look, if Dame's not on that team, they're not getting any national games. No national games on TV, no national network games, no TNTs, nothing if Dame's not on that team. They got to pay him. Jersey sales and marketing alone makes it worth it.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like you see, I mean, Curry may not be the best example, but when Curry got on the team, they were worth $500 and some million. Now they're worth $5.6 billion. So, you know, I don't know what the numbers are for Dame Lillard, but you know, he definitely have made Portland even brought up in the conversation on things,
relevant.
and they've made, they're more valued because he's there, and he's marketable. He definitely is marketable. He's
clean. He hasn't had any, bad negative press or anything along those lines.
Yeah, so
he's out of trouble.
Yeah, so you can respect, him and everything that he's doing.
All right, I'd like to see him get some help or get on a better team because I'd like to see him go deep.
Man, I wouldn't mind having him come over to our team.
Yeah. That would be nice, but I don't think they're trading Russ, and we can't afford it. That's for sure. So let's just go
get rid
of that one.
I don't think we can afford what we got now.
Okay, so there's you know what? Hey, this is a perfect time. I'd like to talk about the stepbrother that's next door down the hall. We'll get to the Clippers when we get back. Let's take a quick little break here. We'll be right back. You're watching the Profanity Nation podcast. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Be sure to visit the Pure Life Alternative Wellness Center for all your 420 needs. They have everything from baby Jeters to Stizzy cartridges, fuzzies, pre-rolls, great deals on eighths, raw garden diamonds. They have your gear. They have Papa and Barkley relief patches. After a hard workout, you need those. CBDs, you know that. They have plenty of edibles to choose from. Be sure to hit up the Pure Life Alternative Wellness Center. United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services. All right, we're back. The Profanity Nation podcast. You're watching it. So thank you so much. We have Money Mike, Stat Pat, and yours truly, Simsta here. Okay, guys. So I want to talk about the Clippers here really quick. Okay, so they did, they supposedly got better if they can put players on the court. They now have John Wall, which essentially would give them a big three if they're healthy. There are rumblings that there have been workouts put together by Kawhi and NPG where players are getting together. John Wall says that if the other team's third best defender has to guard him, look out. Are they for real? Can they make this happen? Let's go to you, Stat. Are the Clippers for real with this big three that they got going on? And first of all, is it even a big three?
All right, yeah, it's fun, but what I would like to say, isn't it funny how like Paul? I mean, I was going to say call him Paul Wall, John Wall can actually go to the Clippers, and all of a sudden he's an asset. And he's like, bam, he's gonna make them a big three. We were talking about trading for him, and like, what is John Wall going to do for the Lakers? He can't do anything for the Lakers. What is he going to do? That's not new. That's a lateral move. He's not moving the needle, And that's what I'm trying to figure. Because if he's that guy that's going to make them a big three, then he couldn't be that same guy here in LA and for the Lakers and make them a big three. No, because we never thought of him that way. We never thought of him in that kind of term that he was going to push us over the top. So what we're saying is if he's going to push them over the top, that means that Kawhi Leonard and PG-13 is bigger or better than AD and LeBron. And I don't know if that's accurate. And so I think that John Wall is going to go over there. He's going to do his thing. He's going to play about 45 games. And then he's going to probably get hurt. And then we're going to, that's what it's going to be. I mean, but he's not going to take him to the championship. No, I don't think that at all.
Money?
What offense they going to run? That's my question. We got these pieces. They're kind of like interchangeable between, guard, small forward. You know what I mean? They're all kind of playing
a chameleon player.
like in the same in the same. Their game was like exactly the same. Or very very similar. So we have 3 players that do the same thing. Kawhi that doesn't necessarily need the ball, but Paul George kind of needs the ball. John Wall kind of does too. I don't know what offense that they're going to run that's going to have them to be successful. Like that. I just really hate the concept of getting name brand players, but not putting together a roster where everybody has their specialty. Like it is to me that's more important than putting like name brand, like I said, name brand players.
Are we overlooking a serious factor here that Jerry West is somewhere behind the scenes considering how this all fits? And also to your point there, Stat, you're right. For the Lakers, it would have been a lateral move because we would have traded Russ for. But in this case, it was a buyout signing, so they didn't give anything. They just add. So it just adds depth for whatever John Wall brings to the team. I've always found it funny when you have a player who the team that has them doesn't even want them. They'll do a buyout, and then B makes it through waivers and such, and then it goes to a team, and all of a sudden, like you say, he's this huge asset that everyone else missed out on. Everyone had the opportunity and said no, thank you, but all of a sudden it's just spun in such a way. I guess the question is, we know that they have good coaching in Tyronn Lue. We won't argue with that. We don't know what the health is and the attitude for John Wall. But Jerry West is there. Does that change your mind when you're reminded that Jerry West is back there pulling some of these strings?
Man, listen, I love Jerry West. He definitely has an eye, for talent. He's definitely has constructed enough teams to be able to, get that respect. But at the same time, man, it's a culture, I think, over there with the Clippers more than anything else. And I just don't, I don't see nothing really exciting. Like, at least when Chris Paul came and, you had, Blake, you knew they were going to be exciting. Like, you knew that there was going to be Lob City. Like, that was perfect. That you
a
knew
good
what
combination.
Was
yeah.
You didn't know if they were going to win or not, and they end up not winning. But you knew at least
it'd be fun.
what the offense was going to be.
Sure.
I just don't know what the offense is going to be for Paul Wall, Paul George, and
Paul Wall. I love it. All right.
Not Paul
Stat
Wall.
Pat. It's Paul Wall.
And it's so crazy too. Like, I don't know if you heard about the update with Kawhi. Like, he's not even doing 505s yet. So, and his recovery is like top secret. So I've never seen. I don't know what's worse.
And he's not picking up a ball. He's not putting on a suit unless he feels 110%.
Yeah.
This.
I don't know what's worse for AD just to get hurt every time, but try to come back, or Kawhi get hurt and say, no, I'm out for the season.
or two.
Right.
Or two.
Yeah.
Seriously, or two. Like you said, he's always secretive. He never shares. He has his own medical staff. He makes his own decisions that piss San Antonio off enough to trade him, enough to say you're out of here.
Yeah, but then he said, "Oh well, I win a championship, and now that's how valuable he is."
He's right back. Hey, What's up, Daniel? Thanks for checking us out, buddy.
What up, Daniel?
Artest 265 Media 265. He's doing good stuff too. He's out there.
Yeah,
he's always keeping busy. Love you, Daniel. Thank you so much. We should get him back on and find out what he's thinking too.
Yeah, definitely. I want to know what he thinks about all this, because does he think that they're a big three? Does he think that Lakers gonna have a chance?
We'll see. We'll see. I think if anything, if we look to the last playoffs and the last finals, the teams that made it there, you're looking at teams that were built through the draft and stuck with it and stuck with their squads and put pieces around the main pieces that they developed themselves. So I really wish the Lakers would take that approach. At some point, they're going to have to, because they're going to have to move on from LeBron. They're going to have to move on from LeBron.
You know what? I don't think that they are, because it is. Look, I don't know if you guys saw, what was it, about 2 weeks ago that Jeannie Buss kind of put out what I consider to be a cryptic message about Kobe, and she's been she's really frustrated about like the loyalty and the mentality of certain things. She definitely expressed that she felt like she wasted money and we didn't make the playoffs. But we're doing the same thing. So I'm like, well, how frustrated are you in this if we literally are trying to go and create and do the same thing? And if you look at it like right now, I kind of feel like Lakers are kind of getting held hostage while these other free agents that are really good and key pieces are going to other teams.
That happens every year.
Yeah,
that happened when the Lakers held court to get to go after Kawhi.
Right.
They always go after the big pieces and the small fish that could actually make our team and could be role players for years to come, go to other teams. That's the Pelinka strategy. Now, stick with Pelinka here. Okay, it's no surprise. We spoke about it on this show that AD was quoted as saying he had not touched or picked up a basketball in over 2 months. And everyone lit fire about that. Kevin Garnett even came on and made a public post kind of putting him down and then trying to bring AD back up. Well, now Pelinka comes out and explains that AD's been having the off season of his life and he's in the gym at 4:50 a.m. And this is Pelinka saying this, not by accident that this is coming now at this point.
I don't know if you heard the other thing. Lethal Shooter.
Yeah, and working with Lethal Shooter.
It has been posting AD shooting free throws and everything.
Yeah, they're working.
Go ahead.
They're working. So this is not by accident that this news is coming out and so forth. Do you care? Does it mean anything? Do you like it?
Listen. There's one thing that I know. Anthony Davis knows how to play basketball. There's also one thing I know. Anthony Davis, if he falls, he's out for 3 weeks. So I don't care if he don't touch the basketball, as long as you tell me that this guy has been working out, figuring out how when he does fall, he's able to get back up and not be hurt and out for 3 weeks. I don't care about all that's timing. You know what I mean? He ain't lost the talent. So all shooting the basketball, that's talent. That's just timing. You're gonna get that. Has this guy been working out, working on his body? Has he been doing everything he can to be as durable as he can, so that way he could give me at least 65 games in a season? That's all I care about with AD.
All right. Well, we got Daniel here. Let's go ahead and read this really quick. Thanks, Daniel. Lakers have a chance if they're willing to part with that draft pick to get Kyrie. I think that if Kyrie really wants to be a Laker, he has to show them he's committed. And basically by signing that extension, that's the only way Brooklyn can part ways with Irving and that pick. So the ball is in LA and Kyrie's court. So basically it's on them, per Daniel. Thanks, Daniel. We don't disagree there.
But Dave, let me ask you something though. And listen, I don't mind Kyrie coming, but if I'm Brooklyn, why am I not trying to gut the Lakers? Like, why am I not trying to play hardball? Like, why? Is getting Russell Westbrook for Brooklyn enough, right? Because that's just my question there. Because I look at I see the benefit for the Lakers, but what really is the benefit? I mean, I understand the draft pick and all that, but that draft pick ain't gonna happen for another 5 years at least. So what is the benefit for Brooklyn actually doing it?
For me, and if Daniel's out there, he'll go ahead and respond. We know Westbrook isn't enough. That's why they want the pick. Yeah, you know what? But at least like with Westbrook, they get a player and they get a wild shot. It's like a wild card, right? They don't know. They know what they're getting with Irving. They know they're not going to get a title. They know they're not getting anywhere. With Westbrook under Nash, again, it's a wild card. You don't know what you're getting. To me, that's worth it for them to try to salvage, but I think they know that there's no way that KD is going to play with Westbrook again. So I think that's the piece. I think they haven't quite figured out if they can get what they want for KD, and they know that they can't put KD and Westbrook on the court together in one uniform next season. So how do they make this trade with the Lakers unless Westbrook's going to a third, fourth team?
Am I the only one? And I may be. Am I the only one that's a little bit interested to see what Darvin Ham would do with Westbrook if he kept his status quo?
Yeah, I guess so. Because I've already moved on. I'm done with that.
Yeah, I think you are, dude.
Huh?
I think you are. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I think you. I mean, because I don't want to see. I don't want to see that movie again. So I want to see it with a new director because, like, look, dude. The thing is, the reason why the Nets have to trade. We're gonna go back to that reason why we feel that they have to trade is because Kyrie literally said, "I don't want to go anywhere other than the Lakers." And if you do not trade me to the Lakers, if you trade me to anywhere else other than the Lakers, I will not sign an extension. So no one's going to give up any kind of assets for a rental. The Lakers are in desperate mode. We will give up those assets for a rental because we know what we have. We have LeBron James. If anybody had LeBron James and they compare LeBron James back with Kyrie and get that same magic, they'll give up those assets. We happen to be that team. Then at the same time, which I have to believe, I mean, maybe I'm gullible, but I have to believe that by hook or by crook, Kyrie Irving finally got to the Lakers, and he's going to wear the jersey that Kobe wore. He's going to now be in his idol's jersey. He's going to play. He's going to represent the same team that Kobe Bryant actually played for. I think he's really going to go ahead and be a model citizen here at the Lakers and try. Now, he might say some off-the-wall stuff, just like Rodman did with the Bulls, but I think that he's going to actually ball out and be a very good asset for us. And that made me wish.
So you think he will be an ambassador for the Laker brand?
Hell no, not that. No, not that, because he's the third. He's the guy that we're going to talk to get the weird sound bites. Because if we want to really get the real stuff, we're going to get the stuff. We're going to go for the LeBron for that. If you want to get the guys like if you want to get the drama, you're going to go to Kyrie. He can't be the face of the franchise, but he will be if you're going to say that he's going to pair him up with AD. All right, well then hell, somebody got to take the reins. I don't feel confident about either one of them being a leader. So what the hell you do?
Okay, so. If this Kyrie deal goes down, are we looking to sign an extension and continue on with Kyrie past LeBron's days?
We got to.
Is that where we're heading? Is that
you have to?
Is
like
that
Mike said, you have. I don't see how you. First of all, you got KD. I mean, you got Kyrie and AD. So you do have building blocks. You do have people good. Guys that actually are very good complementary players to each other. So you're going to have that. It's easier to build that where they're younger and they might have some hunger left in them. You know what I'm saying? If they win a championship next year, Kyrie will have 2, AD will have 2. You know, maybe the hunger is there for another couple more. It has to be. They're going to be facing the Lakers. So I just think they have to bet on Kyrie and AD after LeBron. They have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Rumor has it that Pau Gasol has been in communication with the Lakers brass, Lakers front office about retiring his jersey in this next season, the 22-23 season. Money Mike, Pau Gasol retiring his Lakers jersey. Is that a good call?
I think that that's hard for me. I love Pau Gasol. I definitely think he's a Hall of Famer. Okay, look, traditionally, prior to recent years, in order for you to get your number retired, you have to be in the Hall first to get your number to be retired. They've made exceptions for Shaq. They made exceptions for Kobe. I think they're retiring Pau Gasol number to really give him, not to say that he don't deserve it, but I think they're giving him a solid at the same time. But I think that they have to go with to the tradition of him getting in the Hall first. I mean, I can't see Lakers retiring him without him getting in the Hall first.
Stat Pat, does he need to be in the Hall of Fame first, or is it he's already a lock? He's gonna make it. You know this as a European player, probably the most successful historically ever. He's going to make it. Shaq is going, Kobe's going. All of these players were, no matter what, retire his jersey. Is it happening too quick? Wait a little while. What do you think?
I think everything accelerated because of Kobe. And that's where I think we're at here. We want to still have that feel-good feeling about with Kobe. And we all know Pau Gasol, especially the way he is with Kobe's kids. He's still still in touch with the family, doing vacations with the family. Like, he's still a big part of that family. And so by extension of that, then we feel that, Pau is, an extension of Kobe. And so we want to see that happen as soon as we can, as soon as possible. I have no problem with it because I feel it is a special case. Understanding where Mike was coming from, because that's how we used to do it. And that what made us different. Right. But then we retired one guy's 2 numbers for one dude. So then we just throwing tradition out of the blue. Like, we just throwing that out. And I know
the new tradition though, Pat, because that's never happened.
Okay. So the new tradition after that will then be Powell can get in without having Hall of Fame qualifications.
Okay.
Well, he has.
I'm just saying we're breaking precedent, and I don't know at
What's
this
the
point.
Rush is my question.
How Rush is Rush? I mean,
he's nail right on
5
the
years
head.
retired.
I think you hit the nail right on the head. I think that what happened to Kobe, it has caused other things to be accelerated in the fear, that things can happen, and celebrate while people are here to enjoy it. That could be the statues. That could be just about everything.
I mean, it doesn't bother me. I just, I just kind of,
I guess the question would be, and I'd understand this. Is this the exception or the precedent? Right? An exception would be preferred for this situation as opposed to the precedent being, well, now you don't necessarily have to make it in the Hall. If we think you're Hall qualified and going to, you can then qualify. I mean, but then again, who's even on the list next? LBJ.
Yeah. I mean, no, he's not. His number is not getting retired by Lakers. He has not done.
And he's been 2 numbers too. So he's got 23 and number 6.
He ain't done nothing. Well, I ain't gonna say nothing.
23 and 6. Are we gonna put another 2 numbers up there?
No. There's absolutely no way, dude. No way.
We do not know. Do you have an out of bounds, Mr. Money Mike?
I do.
All right.
I have it's very interesting.
All right. Hey, if everybody out there, if you watch the show, you know that we always finish the show with a segment we call Money Mike's Out of Bounds. Money Mike is going to share his opinions and thoughts on a topic, and he just wants to know, is he in bounds or out of bounds? Money Mike, you've got the mic.
So I have to explain this a little bit because it's very, very interesting. I kind of want you guys' opinion, and I'll give you guys on my side. So we all know that probably that Carmelo Anthony's best tenure of time was over there in Denver, right? And they probably would have retired his number at some point in time after he retired. But Carmelo has a problem that his number 15 is worn by Jokic right now. number 15. And I feel personally that probably Denver should retire.
They should have held it. They should have held it.
They should have held it and not allow Jokic to be number 15. So, unfortunately, it looks like he's not going to be able to get his number retired because it's held by MVP.
a very high paid MVP.
More current. You know, people have a short memory.
Yes.
So my question is more, you know, what your opinions on this? Am I out of bounds to say that Carmelo is just bad luck that he's not going to ever get his number retired by Denver?
Go ahead, Stat.
Look, okay, so all right, Mike. So what I'm saying is this. We want to remember. Let's remember how Carmelo kicked and screamed his way out of Denver to get back to play with his hometown Knicks. Remember how that fiasco and basically how he would basically just at all costs, he needed to get it the heck out of there and go back there. Man, I'm sorry, man. Once you do that, hey, what I'm supposed to now all of a sudden now give you the respect due of a franchise player because you didn't want to go ahead and respect the grind. And now you leave and I need to go ahead. And now I got a person that, let's be honest here, is better than you. And he's wearing your number. Sorry, bro. You don't get that back. And now let that be a lesson to your kids. All right. If you have a good situation, don't burn bridges, okay? That's a lesson for your kids. Don't worry. You look at that number right there, that should have been my number, son. You go ahead and you tell your kids that because you acted like an ass, not because they were treating you wrong. You acted like an ass. So, no, you're out of bounds because there ain't no way in the world. I feel sorry for that cat for leaving the way he did and seeing another dude do twice as much as he did in his whole career. And I'm going to leave it at that.
And bam, mic drop. I think that he should send some chocolates to Pat Riley and hope for the best and hope that Pat Riley retires his jersey as a Heat because it's not happening in Denver. That's for sure. Like you said, the noise that he made to get out of there, scream and yell, his only chance was if he actually made something happen in New York, which of course we know that did not happen. So he missed on that, but he did get paid. He got his money. That's what he wanted. He got paid, and that's where he stands now. So
here's another question then. What if Jokic would not have been number 15? Do you think they would have retired his number?
Probably
yes,
so.
As a publicity stunt, yes.
Probably so. Because what are you going to do? The Knicks going to do it? No, Knicks not going to do that. And what are you going to do? I mean, Knicks. When the last jersey of the Knicks retired? Ewing?
Oakley.
Oakley?
Yeah.
Like, who else? I mean, that's what, Mace, maybe? I don't even know. I don't think Mace. It has to be Oakley, the last one. So, maybe New York, because he was multiple All-Star with New York, maybe, but that's it, bro. That Denver love, that junk gone.
Yeah. No, he kind of cost himself there. And I think Stat Pat's right.
I mean, you have to feel bad that there's a player better than you.
Balling, dog. Balling, bro. Balling, man. Like, balling. Like, seriously, when you just said, I forgot he was 15, I'm like, damn. I don't remember him being 15 anymore.
Took it right from him. Right. Snatched it right from the desk. All those records you had, goodbye. Yeah, they're all gone. Yeah, with a player who, like we said, getting paid. Jokic.
Well, Jokic is a beast, too.
Let me tell you. Okay. So really quick, we'll end here really quick. As stands, Pat, there's still some free agents out there. There's still a lot of dominoes yet to fall, and we know that will probably happen once we figure out what's going on with KD and Kyrie. Always good news, always NBA, always in the offseason. So we'll see what's going on. We do know that Pelinka is at Summer League, and talks are happening there for trades. So we'll just keep our ear to the news wire and find out what happens, right? And go from there. It's never really an off season in the NBA, and that's what makes it so much fun, guys. Okay, everybody, First of all, we want to thank everybody so much. We want to thank everyone who participated in the comments. Danielle Artest, Chris Woodmansey, thank you. RBL Nation, we know who you are. Thank you so much. 265 Media, be sure to check it out. Stat Pat, Money Mike, our producer, Dwan, thank you so much. I am Simsta. Be sure to check out the Pure Life Alternative Wellness Center. They are one of our sponsors. They help us out. And also United One Security. If you need any security, we keep them at our front door. Bouncers, it keeps all the groupies away from us. They help us out. They help us out a lot.
Thanks for keeping us safe.
Thanks for keeping us safe. They not only protect our livelihood.
United One Protection Service.
Yeah, United One Protection. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll be back next week every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. And the audio is coming out on Tuesday on all podcast platforms. Thank you so much. See you later. Have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.